Good evening and thanks for joining us on your Friday. I'm Sophie Erber. A new Woodbury County law enforcement center is in the works in Siouxland, but some area residents are voicing concern about the choice of workers to make that happen. We'll explain why they're upset now in our top story at 5. As work on that new law enforcement center gets underway in Woodbury County, the supervisors addressed concerns and accusations regarding an insufficient use of local labor to build that project. Supervisors did address the questions and claimed critics are exaggerating the percentage of out-of-state workers involved in the LEC. Now, the county claims 60% of the workers are local. Ron Wick, chairman of the Woodbury County Law Enforcement Authority, says out-of-state labor is essential to making this project happen.
We need to understand that this is a special type of facility, and with the specialties needed to build this facility, a lot of times in some spots, we don't have the contractors in town that are qualified for some of the specific things that we need to do.
Ernie Colt, a member of the North Central States Regional Council of Carpenters, says local contractors do a lot for the community and they were promised more involvement in this project.
Working with these guys, creating the friendships that we've created, it's really disheartening to see all the work, there goes the word all again, to see 90% of the work going out of town.
Tune in later tonight at 6 to hear how much COVID-19 relief money is also going toward this new law enforcement center. The Iowa Supreme Court tonight has reinstituted a mask mandate in Iowa courtrooms in all 99 counties in response to a rising number of COVID-19 cases statewide. The court's order says that face coverings will be required for all people entering court-controlled areas. Again, that's in all of Iowa's 99 counties. Masks are now required regardless of your vaccination status. That also says that the move aligns with the CDC's guidelines regarding masks in indoor settings. The move does replace the court's order back in May that made masks optional for those who had already been vaccinated. And today marks 3 months since the last time anyone saw 11-year-old Xavier Harrelson of Montezuma. A group now dedicated to finding him is declaring this a day of action. In an effort to locate the boy, the Finding Xavier Harrelson Facebook page is now asking Iowans to do the following: share flyers of Xavier on social media and share them with close friends and family. Donate to the reward fund, and if you can, drop off flyers at a place that you frequently visit. Coming up on Monday, Christian Behena Rivera will be sentenced for the murder of Mollie Tibbetts. His sentencing comes now more than a month after his case was originally expected to wrap up. Rivera was convicted back on May 28th for the killing of Tibbetts back in 2018. She was out on a jog near her hometown of Brooklyn, Iowa. He now faces a mandatory life sentence for the first-degree murder charge. Last month, Rivera's defense team filed motions to delay his sentencing and request a new trial. This was after new witnesses claimed another man confessed to Tibbetts' murder. A judge, however, denied that request. The U.S. Supreme Court tonight has ended an eviction ban extended by the Biden administration. That moratorium on evictions was put into place by the CDC last year in response to the pandemic. The court says that the CDC lacked the authority necessary to issue such a ban without congressional authority, and then denied that the Biden administration had the right to extend it. According to the Census Bureau, roughly 3.5 million Americans could soon face eviction sometime in the next 2 months. And flags are flying at half-staff in honor of service members killed in the attack in Kabul yesterday. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds issued an order to lower those flags in conjunction with President Joe Biden's proclamation. They will remain lowered until sunset Monday, August 30th. Similar orders have also been issued in the states of Nebraska and South Dakota, encouraging everyone with a flag to take part. The Pentagon tonight is preparing for more ISIS attacks in Kabul, with just a matter of days now until U.S. troops are officially set to pull out of the region. The president ordered the Pentagon to develop a plan to strike ISIS-K. It's what the group is calling itself after Thursday's attack that left at least 13 service members dead. Our Washington correspondent Kelly Meyer reports now from the Pentagon.
In the final days of the drawdown, the risk to U.S. troops and evacuees on the ground is growing.
We still believe there are credible threats. In fact, I'd say specific credible threats.
The Pentagon says Thursday's deadly explosion could be just the first attempt to disrupt evacuation efforts.
We certainly are prepared and would expect future attempts, absolutely. But I won't get into the specifics of what those are.
The Pentagon now says there was only one explosion outside the airport's Abbey Gate, with no second explosion at a nearby hotel. Major General Hank Taylor says the attack did impact evacuation efforts.
A little lessening of what we would say total capacity at people in and around gates.
More than 12,000 people were evacuated in the last 24 hours. I asked Pentagon spokesman John Kirby about the ongoing safety of those evacuees and U.S. troops.
Should Americans expect more U.S. casualties in the next few days?
We obviously don't want to see any more casualties. That's why we are monitoring the threat streams very closely.
President Joe Biden was warned Friday that another terror attack in Kabul is likely, and the next few days of the mission will be the most dangerous. But Kirby says the Defense Department remains focused on completing that mission.
It is time to end America's involvement on the ground in the war in Afghanistan, and we're going to execute that.
Reporting in Washington, I'm Kelly Meyer.
Time now to turn our attention to another headline tonight, the weather. Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson standing by. And Scott, we had some storms move through the area last night, bringing with it some much needed rain, albeit also some pretty strong winds.
That's right. The wind was certainly strong last night, Sophie, but it was good that we were able to catch on to a good amount of precipitation, as Esterville, Iowa has received almost 3 inches over the past 2 days combined. Concord, Nebraska with 2 3/4. Sioux City with a little over 1.5 inches. Meanwhile, Spencer at 1.43 inches and just under 1 inch in Sac City. So a good soaking across Siouxland. Overnight lows look to slip into the 60s and 70s. It'll be quiet out there, but tomorrow night a chance of seeing some more severe weather happen with a slight risk spread across Siouxland. We'll go into further detail on the timing and threats with those storms in the full 9 on 9 forecast in a few minutes. Sophie?
All right, thanks, Scott. Art Center's Art Splash is back after being canceled last year, of course, because of COVID-19. This year, it will be downtown at the Art Center campus and not at the usual Riverside Park. This Labor Day weekend event features exhibits and artists from all across the country, along with family-friendly entertainment, plus hands-on art activities. Now, the development coordinator there says it was unfortunate having to completely cancel Art Splash last year.
Hope that people take away from the festival a sense of life and community. The visual arts, the arts in general, are essential to what we do as human beings.
Because of sponsorships, this year's Art Splash will be free to attend. Organizers are still looking for volunteers for next week's event. With students back in school and the summer season winding down, Food Truck Friday season is wrapping up tonight. This was the final day to enjoy some local eats at the event. For the past few months now, Siouxlanders have had the choice of nearly a dozen food trucks with options ranging from ice cream to barbecue sandwiches. Each vendor told KCAU 9 how great of an experience it's been to serve their community again and how much they've seen sales skyrocket this year over last year.
The sales have been phenomenal. The community has just come out and really supported this event, and every one of us down here greatly appreciate that.
For 6 years now, Food Truck Fridays has been a staple in Sioux City. Organizers say they plan to return for a 7th season next year. Many restaurants, bars, and cafes continue to report they are struggling to find workers to fill open positions, but some owners say it's the customers causing staffing problems. We'll explain coming up.
And it looks like we'll have a quiet night in Siouxland. Most of that, that should hold true for most of our Saturday as well, but tomorrow night there is a risk of seeing some more severe storms. It'll become cooler and more seasonal with some drier weather taking hold once again next week. The 9 on 9 forecast up next.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Sophie Erber and Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson. This is KCAU 9 News at 5.
as we bring about some more small storm chances next Friday and Sunday, as it looks like we'll be on the cooler side of things going into the month of September. Well, here's a great picture that was shared with us from Laura in Shaler, Iowa. This is of a double rainbow. A little bit difficult to make out there, but a pretty picture nonetheless. If you have a picture that you want to share, go to SiouxlandProud.com. Send us your photos.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott. That is one of the benefits of having these storms. I love those rainbows.
Yeah, it's certainly pretty.
All right, thanks a lot. Well, can the boys do what the girls do? That's the question in the balance tonight at a Texas school where girls can have ear piercings, but the boys can't. We'll explain that coming up. But first, customers causing staffing issues for some restaurants. We're taking a closer look at that issue coming up next.
If you missed KCAU 9 News at 10 this week, you missed why Hosper's Furniture is closing after 100 years in business and why an expecting Siouxland mother chose to vaccinate against COVID. KCAU 9 News at 10, the day's top stories in your full forecast, all before the first commercial break.
Many restaurants, bars, and cafes continue to report that they're struggling to find workers for their open positions. But now some owners say it's the way customers interact with their staff that could be having an impact on that worker shortage. Reporter Bridget Bennett explains.
To stay here to go.
For 3 years, Joelle Diekoff has welcomed people to breakfast and lunch at Josiah's in downtown Sioux Falls.
Good, how are you?
She says the best part of the job is interacting with customers.
I think most people generally are very, very kind, honestly. Like, I want to emphasize that. A lot of people are kind when they come in here. We have great customers. But a lot of people come in and I feel like they don't even look at me. They don't even, they look straight at the caramel rolls or whatever it may be.
But sometimes customers can make an already tough job even harder.
Definitely being yelled at, I would say, or just kind of snippy people, Sometimes it's the little things that affect me the most, I would say.
Needy customers are always, even in the best of times, a struggle, let's say. But right now at this time when, you're short-staffed, you're trying to do more things than you can, and then you get people that are, being pests to you basically is not fun.
Restaurant owners all over Sioux Falls are short on staff.
Ideally, we would probably be looking at 8 to 10 people.
And while customers may notice a difference in service,
I think it's stressful on everybody. I think everybody feels it, yeah.
The shortage is even more noticeable for staff.
They're just working a little faster, a little more productive than maybe what they used to.
Josiah's owner, Kibby McCormick, says for the most part, customers are understanding.
They can really see that we are working as fast as we can. And so I think that makes them understand that we're doing it the best we can with what we've got.
But even a few challenging customers can make coming to work all that much more difficult.
Please have patience with everybody because they're really trying to do their best.
Nobody wants to come to work and get mistreated at work. We're all suffering from it. Please be kind to the people that are out there that actually show up to work.
News Nation Prime is the country's only live national newscast in prime time, coming your way every night at 7 on News Nation. At 6, there is the Donlin Report. Here's a preview of what's coming up tonight.
Tonight on the Donlin Report, the deadline looms in Afghanistan and new threats stand in the way. How the U.S. can fight ISIS with the little time left and the president's options to stay or leave Afghanistan moving forward. Now here's Leland Vittert with the preview of On Balance.
Thanks, Joe. Live interviews with fighters who have experienced Afghanistan firsthand. Their take on the tragic situation in Kabul and what they think the president should do next. That's coming up On Balance tonight, followed by News Nation Prime.
Again, News Nation Prime comes your way every night at 7 on News Nation. You can see some of the channels that carry it here, or just be sure to check your local guide. The girls are allowed to, but the boys are not. Why a Texas school won't let their male students have earrings. Coming up next. Controversy is brewing tonight in a small Texas town, and it all centers around the dress code at the local school. As reporter Miriam Chamberlain explains, the issue hinges on whether or not boys should be allowed to wear earrings.
Just got the errands changed out. Wha-pow.
This is 9-year-old Ryan Outlaw.
Whoa, black diamond gem.
Excited to have gotten his ears pierced with his father, Cody Outlaw. But upon his first day of school, he was asked to take them out.
Principal caught me before school even started. We had Ryan take them out before there was any drama with any of the teachers or anything.
As the principal told them, due to a district-wide rule, boys are not allowed to wear earrings of any kind in school.
And I told them just take them out, put them in your backpack, and put them back in after school's over.
Ryan's mother, Ashley Outlaw, says she then curated a petition and took it to Facebook.
Someone explained to me why little girls could safely wear earrings to school, but boys could not. And a lot of people agreed with me.
But soon that petition received backlash as some others in the community stepped up, creating their own petition to keep Jim Ned School's dress code the same. The petition stating in part, "We do not want to see our school district regress to the level of those which we left in search of greener pastures." Jim Ned CISD gave us a statement when we asked about the situation, stating, "While we do our best to remain aware of concerns expressed on social media, our district does not respond to or solve problems through social media. Instead, we prefer to handle our concerns face to face. We like for that process to begin informally with a conversation in person or by phone." As more than 1,500 signatures signed for change,
I think he deserves the opportunity to wear them.
with over 500 signed to uphold the current dress code.
He actually told me, he cried and he hugged me and he said, "Thank you for standing up for me."
Take a live look outside right now over sunny downtown Sioux City. Scott returns right after this break with one more check on your forecast. Before we wrap up at 5, let's check in first with Tim for what's coming up at 6. Hi, Tim.
Hey, good afternoon on a Friday, Sophie. The planned construction of a new law enforcement center here in Woodbury County, again, getting plenty of attention from voters. We'll take a look at that, what they're discussing today. That's up at 6 after World News Tonight. And with the state of Iowa now facing a lawsuit over a law that bans mask mandates in public schools, the state's Iowa Supreme Court has now required face coverings for all people entering court-controlled areas. How that change could impact folks here in Woodbury County coming up at 6. And as summer season winds down, Siouxland's last and biggest county fair is about to open its gates. We'll head to Spencer, Iowa for our look at the Clay County Fair preparations. Organizers today welcoming reporters for a preview this afternoon. The fair runs the 11th through the 19th of September. Big night of football ahead as well. Sophie, we'll see you at 6.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you then, Tim. And a little bit soggy those fields might be tonight after the rain that we had, Scott.
Exactly. Maybe a little bit muddy, too, out there. We should have a low temperature of 70 degrees tonight, a pretty standard summertime night with a mostly clear sky. Tomorrow evening, though, there is a possibility of seeing some more severe storms, and then it looks like things will be quieter through the majority of next week as we cool things off some.
All right, thanks, Scott. Thank you for joining us. We hope you'll join us again here at 6. Until then, have a great night.